Hey guys, thanks for tuning in to another show from Dorklords Gaming. Tonight we take you back to the Iron Kingdoms for yet another Warmachine battle report. This is a showdown between two of the club's old boys, with Ryan bringing in his Khador to face Kirk and his Cygnar. Will the Khador and Warmachine steamroll over everything, or will we ride the lightning to a Cygnar victory? You're about to find out.
Hey everyone, Ryan here to call the action for another steam-powered showdown. We're about to see the pride of Cygnar go head-to-head with the might of Khador. This is 11 points of Slay the Warcaster. Let's check out the armies. First up for Khador is a Destroyer Heavy Warjack with Executioner Axe and Bombard Cannon. Alongside him is the Juggernaut Heavy, equipped with an Ice Axe and an Open Fist. That's our Khador battle group, ready to deal out the damage. Leading the army is Commander Sorsha. She has 6 focus, immunity to frost damage, a hand cannon, and a deadly warhammer Frost Fang. Sorsha's feat is called Icy Gaze. All enemy models without immunity to cold in her control area and in her line of sight become stationary for 1 round. First up for the boys in blue is a Lancer Light Warjack with Arc Note, Shock Shield, and War Spear, a deadly combination that can ruin a Jack's Cortex. Next is the Charger Light Warjack with Dual Cannon and Battle Hammer. Lastly, the heavy hitter of this battle group, the Ironclad Heavy Warjack with Quake Hammer and an Open Fist. And that's 11 points of Battle Box Beatdown. Leading the Cygnar is the infamous Commander Stryker. Stryker has 6 focus and 2 weapons with magical attacks, his Disruptor Pistol and the Sword Quicksilver. Stryker's feat is called Invincibility. It gives all friendly faction models in Stryker's control area +5 armor for 1 round. Also, of course, look out for those earthquakes. They can be nasty. The dorks show their respects one last time, and it is officially game on. The Juggernaut stands ready on the Khador right flank, while Sorsha holds the left alongside her destroyer. Meanwhile, on the other side of the isolated town, the Cygnar make ready. The Lightjacks flank the mighty Ironclad, keeping Stryker well protected behind a wall of heavy metal. This is Khador turn 1. Sorsha gathers her 6 focus and begins applying them to her battle group. 1 focus goes to the Juggernaut, and 1 focus goes to the Destroyer. The Warcaster keeps the other 4 focus to herself. The Juggernaut activates then, running straight towards the enemy. It's swiftly followed by the Destroyer that spends a focus to run up alongside it. Sorsha strides up behind her heavy jacks and casts her first spell. She spends 3 focus to cast Fog of War, giving all units in her control area concealment. It's time for Cygnar turn 1. Stryker gathers his 6 focus and shares them evenly among his jacks, giving 1 to each. Then he camps the 3 remaining focus. The Lancer activates first, running its deadly arc node closer to the enemy. Next to activate is the Ironclad, which spends its focus to run straight up center field. The Charger runs up the field as well, completing an assertive early move from the Cygnar Warjacks. Commander Stryker struts along behind his battle group and launches his first spell, He spends 2 focus to cast Blur on the Lancer, giving it a +3 to its defense. The armies are drawing closer. This is Khador turn 2. Maintenance first, then, as Sorsha spends a focus to upkeep Fog of War. 2 focus is placed on the Destroyer Heavy, while Sorsha decides to keep the other 3 for herself. Here comes a long-range shot from the Bombard Cannon, but it falls just short of the target. The Juggernaut then moves over and braces for impact. Stryker's Jacks are closing in now. This is Cygnar turn 2. The Warcaster regains his 6 focus and spends 1 to upkeep Blur on the Lancer. He then gives 1 focus on the Ironclad before camping his other 4 focus. The Cygnar Heavy activates, bravely spending its focus to run headlong into the Khador battle line. The Lancer activates next, moving 6 inches up behind the Ironclad. On the right flank, the Charger moves as well, closing in for the kill. Stryker continues his march forwards, casting Arcane Shield for 2 focus, giving the Charger +3 armor. With turn 2 over and both armies poised to strike, it's time to go tactical. The Cygnar have got ranged threat on the flanks due to the Arc Node and the dual cannon, but Sorsha is keeping herself well out of reach behind the building. Stryker has been using defensive spells on his Lightjacks so far. He knows they will be crucial in pulling off a killing move on Sorsha. The Ironclad has moved bravely but could now take serious heat from the Khador Jacks. It's now under threat from the Destroyer's Bombard Cannon that missed in turn 2 and potentially a devastating charge from the Juggernaut. Stryker meanwhile is biding his time and camping his focus. Here comes the pain in Khador turn 3. Sorsha starts by allowing Fog of War to end and putting 3 points of focus on each of the heavy Warjacks. The Juggernaut then spends 1 focus to charge axe first into the Ironclad. The Juggernaut's mat 6 is up against the Ironclad's defense 12. He needs a 6 or better to hit. Hitting easily on a 10. With an extra dice for charging, the Juggernaut is power 19 against armor 18, so this is dice +1 for damage. That's 7 points of damage to box 1. Next, the heavy swings with its open fists, but somehow it misses. Another focus point spent means another axe blow is coming in. And that's another hit. This Jack does not miss twice. There's another 8 damage to box 3. The last point of focus is spent as the Juggernaut goes for the kill now. Hitting easily with a 10, this Jack is on fire. That's a massive 10 damage to box 1. Somehow, the Ironclad stays standing. Not content to let the punishment end there, the Destroyer spends a focus and charges as well. The Ironclad is in big trouble. It hits easily on a 7 with the Executioner Axe, and with power plus strength 17, hacks into the Ironclad's defensive 18. Dice -1, and that's 8 damage to box 6. Despite a heroic stand, the Ironclad is killed. Out goes the Jack, and in comes a wreck marker. The Khador attack has stopped the Cygnar advance dead in its tracks. Confident that her Jacks are taking care of business, Sorsha strolls back behind the building. Will the big blue machines pull it back? Let's find out in Cygnar turn 3. Stryker decides to spend 2 focus to upkeep both Blur and Arcane Shield on his Jacks, then keeps 3 focus for himself. The Lancer activates, moving 6 inches around the left flank of the wrecked Ironclad. Stryker activates next, taking cover beside the building as he prepares for some serious payback. Stryker spends 3 focus to unleash an Earthquake. He channels the spell through the Arc Node on the Lancer. A 4 needed to hit, and he just makes it. Double knockdown! The Khador heavies are floored. Seizing its chance, the Charger Warjack moves and fires its dual cannon at the destroyer. Powerful shot means 1 focus lets him boost both attack and damage rolls here. The shot hits. Strength 12 versus Armor 20 means dice -8. And that's 7 damage to box 2 on the destroyer. The Cygnar are not done yet. Their strong counterattack leaves the game wide open. And this is Khador turn 4. Sorsha regains all her focus and starts by putting 2 on the destroyer and 1 focus to the Juggernaut. Sorsha then keeps the other 3 focus for herself. The destroyer forfeits its movement to stand up and then fires its bombard cannon at the Charger. Here comes a big blast. The destroyer boosts the attack and needs a 9 or better to hit. The shot hits. The destroyer pays 1 more focus to boost the damage roll as well. This is dice -5, and that's 8 damage to box 4. The Juggernaut activates next, spending 1 focus to stand up. It then moves back, forming a wall of steel in front of Sorsha. As the Cygnar and Khador Jacks face off in the town center, Commander Sorsha springs into action. The Khador Warcaster moves around the outside of the building. She then casts Windrush for 2 focus. It allows her to make a full advance and gains +2 to her defense. She uses this extra move to charge out into the open and line up a shot with her hand cannon, firing at the Charger. She needs an 8 to hit here, and she gets it. I was happy about that one. Sorsha spends her last point of focus to boost the damage. Dice -7 means 4 damage to box 3. Sorsha is stuck in. Will Stryker return fire? Let's find out. Stryker's control phase begins with him allowing both buff spends to dissipate. Stryker then allocates 3 focus to the Charger and then keeps 3 for himself. In activation, the Lancer runs straight at the Khador lines. Stryker then casts Earthquake for 3 focus, making use of his Arc Node on the Lancer. He's trying to knock down Sorsha. Due to Windrush, Sorsha's defense is up to 18. He needs a double 6 here. So close. The spell drifts and the template scatters back a few inches, dropping it right on top of the destroyer. The Khador Heavy is knocked down again. The Charger activates and moves into range, before spending 1 focus to boost attack and damage rolls. The dual cannon fires at Sorsha. The shot just can't get past her defense. The charger pays for an extra shot and boosts, trying everything to hurt Sorsha here, but he still misses. Kirk can't believe it. The dice gods can be cruel. Stryker ends the turn by using his feat Invincibility. His Jacks now have +5 armor and prepare to withstand a Khador counter-assault. This is Khador turn 5. Sorsha regains her focus and immediately gives 3 to the destroyer. She then saves 3 focus for herself. She's definitely plotting something nasty for the Cygnar. The destroyer activates and forfeits its movement to stand up, before unleashing a shot with its bombard cannon at Stryker. It is just in range. This could really hurt. It spends focus to boost and needs a 10 or better to hit. The destroyer hits. It spends its last focus to boost the damage, needing dice -6. That's 5 damage to Commander Stryker. Remembering the Juggernaut wasn't knocked down, Sorsha moves him up 6 inches. With the Jacks engaged in the center, Sorsha makes a daring move. She moves first forward and then prepares to cast. She uses Wind Rush to boost her defense and allow her to make another advance into the forest. She's getting closer to Stryker now. After that turn, both sides have traded blows, but Sorsha has managed to get behind enemy lines and is hunting Stryker down. Can the Cygnar turn the tide? Let's find out in their turn 5. Stryker reclaims his focus and gives 1 to the Lancer, followed by 1 to the Charger. He then camps the 4 remaining focus. The Charger activates and makes a defensive move backwards. The Lancer follows suit, moving to the right to block Stryker from harm. The Warcaster himself completes the defensive maneuver, moving behind his Jacks. Stryker then casts Arcane Shield on the Lancer, followed by Blur on the Charger. The Cygnar are digging in. Can Sorsha crack the Cygnar defenses? Let's find out. Sorsha gathers her 6 focus and gives 1 to her Juggernaut. She then gives 2 to her Destroyer. She saves the last 3 focus for herself. The Juggernaut activates, it spends its focus and runs towards the enemy. The Destroyer then walks up alongside and fires its mighty bombard cannon. It uses its arcing fire ability to fire at Stryker. He spends focus to boost his shot. This could be deadly. And he hits on a 13. The Destroyer spends its last focus to boost the damage. And that's a huge 11 damage to Stryker. The Cygnar caster is on the ropes. What an incredible move there from the Destroyer, coming back from the knockdowns to cripple Stryker. Sorsha activates now and moves out of the woods. She's closing in. She then activates her feat. All the Cygnar models are frozen in place. She then spends 2 focus to cast Wind Rush, gaining her the extra movement to zip between the Jacks and go toe-to-toe with Stryker. She's auto-hitting here because of Icy Gaze. She boosts the damage as well. This roll is for the game. Sorsha swings and it's lights out for Stryker. he is taken down in one swift move. So at the end of the game, the Khador stood firm against a strong Cygnar assault, with Sorsha striking behind enemy lines to take down her enemy. Stryker has been defeated, and Sorsha has brought victory to the Khador. With the battle over, two old friends can shake hands again. Thanks for tuning into this Warmachine battle report. Catch you next time.